Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Hey, y'all. Just a quick check-in. Wednesday evening. It said we're supposed to have a guest here over the next day or so. Looks like she may go a little west of or east of us here. But they're calling her Laura, and apparently she likes gas because there's no gas everywhere. I don't know. But got a storm coming. Old boy come in the store this morning. Like, what do you think's going to happen? I'm like, well, we're going to have a storm. There's going to be some wind and rain, and it's going to pass. We're going to clean up, and Monday will come. We'll just keep moving. About the long and short of it. What do you think it'll do? And I'm like, well, we're going to have a storm. It is what it is, part of nature. Sissy had already went up for the night, and she doesn't know, but I guess she does know. Look at her. It's an inside night for her. Still got some challenges with this old roof that we'll be ready to go in. All right. Let her go get in her spot. She has decided that right at the foot of my bed on the floor is where she likes to be, and I like it there too. She don't come in that often, but she's going to get in there tonight. Me and Jordan walked around and battened down the hatches. Looks like we moved out. Look at that porch. Ain't nothing on it. Looks like the storm already came, but we're ready, prepared as we can be, and I hope you are too. As part of nature does its thing and comes on through. Those who've been following know that old roof is old, and the owner of the house has got it on slate to get it repaired, and that's going to be a big blessing. But won't be in time for this round, so we can take bets on how many buckets I'm going to need in my bedroom this evening. I don't believe I'll be sleeping in there, but if it's a bad storm, it's a 3-bucket night. If it's a really bad storm, it's a 4-bucket night. I don't know if it'll be 5 this evening or not. We'll take the good with the bad, won't we? We'll check in as it hits. I imagine we'll get a pretty good bit of wind. We're on the good side of the storm, if there is a good side. And, really got my mind on my fellow neighbors and our folks down and family in the Soup Bowl, if you would, around Beaumont and on that Texas coast. It's rough down there when a storm like this hits with all the water. I was blessed to be a helping hand in Harvey. And boy, it's funny how the timeline is. It's all in my memories. I'm reliving it and thinking about it. Trouble is with a storm like this, that water comes in and proceeds pretty quick, but those low-lying areas get landlocked, so you'll have a community that's fairly okay, but they're cut off from all the infrastructure and things get bad real quick. So I hope everybody down that way uses some prudent preparedness. And, we're going to lose power up here, I'm sure, for a little bit, but that'd be all right. We're ready for it. We've been through worse, right? Had somebody comment about, what are you going to do in that old house, that old 100-year-old house? How you going to make it through? I'm like, you just answered the question. It's 100 years old. There's a lot of apartment buildings that didn't make it that long. So if it's its time to get hit and fall down, that's what'll happen. And we'll just trust the good Lord to keep moving. A lot of big trees around here, though. I think they can bend and move. But just wanted to touch base real quick. May share a few stories over the next couple of days about that experience down in southeast Texas post-Harvey. I learned a lot about giving and how people need, I guess. But I was in my element and was blessed to be there. Donations poured in, and we ferried gas down there. That's what's going to be the issue, is gas and supplies. So I think if I had any advice for those wanting to respond and help, it's a noble cause, but sometimes when you get spontaneous responders and tons of people flooding an area, it puts strain on resources that are limited to begin with. And then accidents happen among those responders, and the officials have even more trouble taking care of things. So plan your steps carefully if you want to help. And sometimes, so my pastor says in missions, some go by giving and some give by going. So sometimes you can find a worthy charity down that way and somebody that's in need and helping, and funnel a little resource that way. Less bodies in that situation sometimes is a better thing. But prayers are always welcome, and it's another storm. We'll have them right along the rest of our life. It's part of the cycle. But us old humans get in the way sometimes, don't we? I don't think we're on this hill. I don't think we'll flood too bad, but if we did, it'd be like old Johnny Cash, and I'd have chickens up in the willow trees, 5 foot high and rising. We're prepared. The company, I really admire that leadership there. They don't shut down too often, but got a big mill here, and we make feed. And they called it yesterday, even though now it looks like it's not going to hit Nacogdoches dead on. But it's good stuff. They didn't want to take a chance on their employee safety driving in or equipment and all, so we battened down the hatches and even unplugged the computers. I've never done that at that store, just to make sure everything's locked up, the marquee is stripped, and things are tied down just in case. Everybody will be able to stay home and not have to worry. It's good leadership. Proud to work for it. But, all right, it's just kind of eerie. It was thick this afternoon, but now we got a little cloud cover, and been through 3 or 4 of these things, and they're an awesome thing to watch. I know it's a lot of destruction, but my goodness, we think we're something until a little wind shows us that maybe we're not in control of things like we think we are. Old boy used to say, to make a punk out of Popeye. That's saying something, ain't it? I'll rattle it off real quick. We'll do a quick roll call, and I'm going to call it. Got a few things left to do, but not much. Got all them chickens and turkeys. Somebody said I need to get some canned meat and stuff that wasn't needed refrigerated. We'll have a little loss of power event. But I got thinking about it. I'm like, wait a minute. I ain't got to have canned meat, non-refrigerated meat. I got it on the hoof out there. And Jordan get hungry. We got propane and a stove and fresh chicken. Even got some fresh turkeys big enough to eat if we need to go down that route. We're going to leave the goats alone. Yeah, it ain't going to get that bad. We'll see. Hey, there's Ray Lucas. Mason out in Waco, Texas. How are you, buddy? Randy's checking in. Yeah, we're going to be all right up here. We really are. Chris King, ducking and dodging. She's right in the heart of it, y'all, in Louisiana. They're going to have it rough for a little bit. We'll get through it. Patricia saying howdy and stay safe. And Polo. Yeah, you can say Polo now, Chris. Oh, goodness. I don't know what we did to call Laura up in this mess, but here she comes. Hey, Tina, how are you? Good evening, Joel. Checking in from Arlington, Texas. Mike's out in California. Evacuating orders lifted here yesterday. That's great. Yeah, he said we're going to drown and they're going to burn up with all them fires in California. Ain't that something? Nature is something else. Sandra Holt, how are you? Appreciate that. And Dorothy says, my camper leaks around the skylight. I know the feeling. Nothing like waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning on a thunderstorm rolling through with a drip. And then once you get the pot situated, you know how you just kind of sleep in. Just need to go back to bed. So you get the pot on the floor and it's situated. You got the drip caught. Well, then you got to find something to throw in there because all you hear is that doop, doop, right? So you got to put something soft in there to catch it, paper towel or something. It'll drive you crazy. There's Deborah sitting here in Houston. Yep, y'all dodged the bullet for sure. Harvey was rough. Dispatching still messing. Yes, ma'am. I understand. Donnie's up in Illinois. Thank you, sir. Darlene saying howdy from Western Washington. Thank you for those prayers. There's Aggie. Everything's going to be all right here, y'all. No worries. There's Lelia. Roy from south of Houston. Well, you're in kind of a wet spot yourself, aren't you? Miss Sharon's checking in. There's Mary. And Hollis saying, how I wish we'd get some of that rain. Well, I hope we get a little rain, to be honest with you. I think we're going to get a whole bucket of it. We'll see how that goes. Kathy's saying, stay safe. Expecting telling the storm in Arkansas. Yes, he is always good. My Aunt Sharon, Laura says hello, and she'll be there soon. Well, she ain't welcome to have coffee with me on the front porch tomorrow. That's all I'm going to say. Oh, well. And my daughter Faith checking in, saying howdy to her great aunt. Yes, she is a great aunt, isn't she? There's Miss Rhonda. On in conflict with greater love. Yes, ma'am, I am. I had to stay home. The ox is in the ditch. So couldn't be there to be at church this evening. We got to get things battened down for tomorrow. So there is that. that both of these are available later, so you can check them out now or check me out, whichever way. Thank you for that, Rhonda, pointing that out. There's Mike, how are you? And Helen, good to see you. And Miles saying howdy from Arlington, Texas. Andrew's in Interlochen, Florida. My daughter-in-law Felicia's checking in with my granddaughter. Bella's saying howdy, and she loves us. Love y'all too. There's Miss Aggie, and I think I got everybody. Tracy Smith from Cedar Grove, Indiana. And Aggie's sending prayers. Kelly's saying be safe. Chris says keep praying if y'all I don't have ruby slippers. I hear you. Hey Douglas, how are you down Conroe Way? There's my other cousin Jana out in Florida. Miss Aggie checking in. And Veronica's batting down here with all the goats. Stay safe. Yep, she gave me a little advice on taking the collars off the goats in the event that they break out and get hung up in the debris. That's pretty good advice. So we got that done. The goats are decollared, right? Well, everybody's been asking how we're doing and are we safe, and we are. And we'll touch base maybe in the morning with a little post or something, but we'll be all right. It's just another little storm coming through. Folks gonna lose some property, and that's always sad. And hopefully everybody will tighten up and obey orders and not lose too many folks. Unfortunately, that's gonna happen too. Let's hope they don't blame it on the stinking corona after a hurricane. Let it be what it is, right? And I'll get off of that. Y'all be the light. Stay safe and just be prudent. Talk to you later.